What's up, everybody? Destroy here, and welcome back to the cast of the RotWK Patch 2.2 version 7. Today we have a 1v1 on the forts of Isen. Alright, let's get into the cast. We have our first player, Asba, as Goblins in the top left, and in the bottom right we have his opponent, Djinges, is how I'm going to pronounce that, because the D is probably silent, like Django. I don't know, maybe. That's how we're going. That's what it is now. We've got Djinges as men, and we got Asba as goblins. Alright, Asba's going for a spiderling start, it looks like, potentially. And we probably have Gondor soldiers coming out for Djinges, I would expect, but could be a Rohan spearman if he wants to go creeping. But Rohan spearman, of course, would be very bad against goblin warriors, as I'm sure he would probably think his opponent might be going. So, you probably wouldn't do that, I don't think. But, we'll see. Most common start is Gondor soldiers, and there you go. Gondor soldier on the way. He's also getting a quick archer range to get some Gondor archers out ASAP, which should be pretty useful, I would think. Alright, so a couple battalions out soon. We have, of course, our first spiderling on the way. If you've never seen Forts of Isen, I don't know where you've been in the past decade, but there is warglairs here, here. We got trolls, of course, in the bottom left and top right. And, of course, inns next to them, being the only neutral buildings in this map. So, if they want to get something spicy out of the inn, it is blocked behind a cave troll. Could play a part in some factions matchups. Some of the units are pretty good. Now you see buff spiderlings destroying these Gondor soldiers. It doesn't look like Djinges actually used his rally call, which is wise because he only had one battalion that was dying. He's waited for his Rohan spearmen and archers, and he'll throw that down when he's about to engage. He hasn't thrown it down early, which is also very smart, because otherwise he'd just be literally walking over to the enemy's base with wasting his time on his power, which would be silly. Asba's going for Goblin Warriors and more Spiderlings. He's probably going to lose a bit to this little attack here from Djinges, seeing as how he doesn't have anything. And these Goblin Warriors are out in the field now, but they're probably not going to last very long considering these archers. And of course all the troops in front of his base. So he's definitely going to lose this Goblin Cave. Down it goes. The fort has taken a majority of the Rohan spearmen out, though, thankfully for him. Let's look at more lings here. 2 lings, in fact, ambushing there. Djinges going out for the creep. He's going to creep the wargs with some Rohan spearmen and archers, it looks like, which is wise. These spiderlings will win here. And lots of engagement there. And now he's moving his production buildings to the back of his fortress, which is a smart move in this case, seeing how he won't be able to defend them super well. That will be a nice defensive position for them. Looks like the Ling got the drop on the archers trying to get away, and they of course will not make it to the end of the day, unfortunately for them. Both players of course expanding their economies. As you do, we got Djinges ahead in the economy, sitting at 450, as where we have 350 for Asba currently. So he's doing a better job of expanding his farm production, and as well as keeping his farms alive, which also is indirectly doing that, I guess. Spiderlings can be pretty tricky to defend against, especially when they're harassing you. He does have the right unit for the job, though. Archers are a good counter to Spiderlings. They drop them pretty quickly, and of course they have the range to take them out. So Asba will want to be a little bit careful. But of course if he does attack those archers, they would probably just melt. But he would lose a few Spiderlings in the process, of course. I'm pretty sure he's not wanting to lose too many. Got 2 battalions of archers and some Rohan spearmen there. Some Gondor soldiers and more Gondor archers joining the fray. And he's even got more Gondor archers coming out, and more Rohan spearmen. He has a lot of Gondor archers. Also some Rohan spearmen creeping the warglare down here as well. He has creeped this one also. Has been going in for an attack as predicted. Goblin spiderlings will eat through those archers, no problem, especially with the war chant. Easy pickings, boys. And now there's 3 battalions that Djinges will have to deal with, which could be pretty frustrating. Although he is making a big push on Asba's base. Asba's got not much defense, it's gotta be said. He's got Goblin archers, he's got Goblin warriors, and more in the queue. But he is command point capped, it seems. And he is throwing up the emergency tower. The one we all know and love. But that will actually help quite a bit, as it will basically double the rate at which they will kill these guys attacking his base. Never underestimate a fort tower. It will drop these fools quite quickly. You gotta be careful. Forts can take out your army pretty quick without you realizing how much you're actually losing. We have a lot of Goblin warriors to the south from Asba. It looks like Djinges is ready to engage that, though. Djinges does have his war chant or relic already. War chant has already been used for Asba, so that won't be a factor. It looks like we got the Goblin sandwich here, and that is going to spell doom for that little Goblin horde, sadly, for Asba. Looks like he's defending over here. Goblin archers looks like they're doing the job. Spiderlings being sent to the north-ish of the area. Probably going to go around, it looks like. Try to harass some more. We do have an upgraded stables for Djinges, so he's going for Rohirrim, which will be pretty good. I don't think 1 battalion of Rohirrim can beat 3 battalions of Lings, but they can try. But I'm pretty sure they will get torn to shreds. Well, Rohirrim are the best cav. Spiderlings are pretty good against cav. But not in a 1v1 fight, of course. It is possible that maybe they could win in a battle. I don't know. Probably not. Not against that much, I don't think. But with support, of course, they will do wonders. And of course, they can go into bow mode, which is great. So I don't actually have to go too close to the spiderlings. Asba's getting his goblin hordes ready, although Djinges is pushing into his base here. Out comes a lot of goblins to try and block. There's that glowy effect, signaling that there is, of course, the horde buff being activated, if you don't know what that is. The horde buff, yeah, 25% damage when gathered a number of 100 or more. So if you can get 100 guys together, that buff will kick in, and then 25% damage will kick in for all goblins around that area. Pretty spicy, and that could be very useful in many situations. Orcs get that as well. It's just a very useful, useful thing for spam factions who put a lot of dudes out that are not super strong, like goblins or orcs. Alright, Djinges is in a pretty good setup here. So Asba has his spam production in full swing, it seems like. Djinges is going to be very busy killing a lot of goblin warriors. The Rohirrim are going to be very useful for this, of course. Trampling down little goblins and catching things other things can't. It looks like Asba has defended against Djinges here as well. Very good indeed. We got 548, 775 for Djinges, 466 of 700 for Asba right now. Looks like Asba just used the Spiderling summon. Spiderling allies. They're not super good at fighting troops, but they are amazing at killing buildings. Look how quickly they destroy a farm. It is nuts. Asba's very close to, or Djinges rather, is very close to getting his 10 power points as well. I would expect a Bombadil or something. But we shall see. I'm having second guessing myself as whether Bombadil is after Rally Call. I think he is. Because Rally Call's in the middle, is it not? Or is that rebuild? I can't remember, for fuck's sake. Who knows? We'll find out. Alright. Asba definitely has the numbers. My god. Djinges' troops are melting away. So much death! What can men do against such reckless hate? That's that famous quote from J.K. Rowling. Queen of the Andals. My favorite one. Looks like some of the spiderlings are still around. The Rohirrim are on the case. And they do manage to save that farm. Very nice. We also have a defensive tower set up here in the southern lands. Is that tower as well? Looks like Djinges is starting to set up battle towers around his area. Interesting. Well, those will be pretty annoying for Asba to deal with, I have a feeling. A lot of people don't like towers. They are quite annoying. They're difficult to deal with without siege weapons or something really powerful. And of course, you put archer into them, they're going to wail on you, basically. So they're a bit tricky. Yeah, 3 battalions over here, though. And the Hobbit summon is what he went for, it looks like. Okay. Fair enough. Well, Hobbit summon, definitely a great choice. The Hobbits will bolster his numbers greatly. Looks like Asba's going for half-drum Marauders now. Probably in response to all the Rohirrim being brought out. I would expect. Asba is on the offensive, though. Not sitting idly by while his base is destroyed. He is also ravaging the base of Djinges. Djinges does have Éomer out here with his Rohirrim now. That should allow him to easily defend his farms. It's sad how quickly an entire army of goblins can disappear. So we got a spider hole expansion, another tower set up here. Asba's base. Make it a little more difficult to deal with. Spiderling expansions are incredibly good. Look how far they aggro away from their fort. And they just spawn numerous little annoying little shits. Block up your troops and kill them. They are very good. Definitely a great building for defense. In combination with towers as well. Very nice. Alright, Asba's coming in. He's got the half-trolls this time. And he's looking to do a fair amount of damage to Djinges' base, and I think he will do just that. Although Djinges is on his doorstep, and it could get dicey real quick if he's not careful. Looks like Asba's still ahead on the, only slightly, but the amount of farms. That, of course, it's not necessarily the amount of farms. Farms give you more commitments as they level up. So it could be the amount of good farms as well in there. But I'd just say the amount of farms in general. Gamer has to be a little bit careful. Half trolls will tear him a new one if he's not. Look at Asba's goblin spam. It's insane. So many goblins. That's why I love goblins. Goblins are... they're such a cool faction. I love the spamminess of them. They're like Zerg from StarCraft. They have that feel to them, you know? Where you're just sending tons of little things and then supplementing it with, like, medium tier, like, cool shit. Like Spider Riders and half trolls. And, of course, getting your late game giants, always good. Or the Dream, the Drogoth, of course. We don't have any goblin heroes as of yet, as far as I'm aware. He's not going for Scavenger from Azog or leadership from Gorkill or anything like that. He's just putting all his money into troops for defense and attacking, which is probably wise. You can get a lot of Goblin Warriors for the price of an Azog. Even though Azog will, of course, pay for himself eventually with his Scavenger. It's not a bad choice, I would say, Scavenger. If you're not getting Scavenger, Azog is a good alternative, because he has it as a power around him. Similar to Aomer, actually. Aomer's Outlaw Leadership will also gain the Man of the West money, which he cannot quite get yet, but soon enough. He will be a great boon to the economy of the Man of the West. So there's Spiderling summon. Is he going to send them at the battle tower? Let's see how they do against battle towers. Even the Spiderlings, which are incredibly good against buildings, take quite a bit of time to kill this battle tower with a bunch of Goblin Warriors in tow. That just shows the strength of a battle tower in a nutshell. Because you saw how quickly a farm fell. It was like 2 hits. 2 full hits. It's never fun having this much Rohirrim against you. 3 battalions is like the ideal number, really. I feel like. It's enough to trample through most things without getting stuck. And you'll usually kill a lot of stuff as well. There's a worm summon from Asba. That should be pretty good. He needs to get it focusing on the buildings, though. Worm does have a tendency to have a mind of his own, so you have to kind of babysit him a bit sometimes. Or else he'll just attack the units around him. Which would be fine, but of course he could heal these units up as well, which is not what Asba wants, of course. But he is busy fighting in the north. He's got a couple battalions, 3 battalions back to Spider Riders. And nice run through there, seeing as how there is no pikes left. This Man of the West army is a screwed. Nice play there from Asba. Looks like he actually managed to save a Half-Troll Marauder banner carrier. And that bad boy can start regenerating his Half-Trolls, which will save, of course, the Goblins some money. While Half-Troll Marauders cannot be trampled, they still do incredibly good damage to the Rohirrim or any cad around them. They're very much worth buying. Oh man. Djinges' lack of pike presence is really kicking him in the nuts right now. He does have 1 queued up, but it's quite a while off. so Asba is running rampant. He's building more battle towers. He's really relying on the defensive power of the tower here. Asba, meanwhile, doing a great job spamming his way through the Men of the West armies. Quite impressive Goblin play, I must say. He's also doing a good job attacking from multiple angles. A lot of players will be very tunnel vision, like myself, in fact, and just go through one area and just kind of do that thing because it's easier than sending things around. But you really want to attack from multiple angles. Try and get your opponent to have to defend. Spread himself thin. And try and take out as weak farms as you can. That's about dodging a bullet there and managing to get a nice trample through again. God, I wish he had Scavenger. He's often go through the other side of the power tree. I can understand if he didn't want Scavenger if he had Azog, but he doesn't have Azog. And it's killing me a little bit. The amount of money he could be making from these Men of the West armies would be quite substantial, actually. Levels Aomer now. Aomer's still level 2. Not doing super well at leveling, it seems. Alright, more Gobbos on the way. He's choosing not to upgrade his fissure or anything at this time. He's just sitting on 3 Goblin Caves, a Spider Lair, level 2. Spider Pit, rather. Oh, he's gone for Gore Kill. Very nice. Okay, so we got Gore Kill, who of course will level up eventually to give leadership to the Goblins, which will be incredibly useful. Even at level 2, once he gets there, he's still very useful. If you remember to throw down his Totem. Totem is a Nearby allies gain 50% damage, 50% armor. Stacks with leadership and spells. Meaning, you can put that down and stack that with a war chant. Or obtain a land. It's pretty powerful. Arguably better than a leadership, of course, because leadership is only 33% armor and damage. Just be careful of this gore kill, though, because, of course, the Rohirrim summon is on upon him. I keep forgetting that summon Rohirrim can switch to bow mode. It's pretty cool. Oh boy, Djinges really powered his way through there, especially with the Rohirrim summon. Gorkill managed to get away, though. And now Asba has some rebuilding to do. He's also sending a little attack force in the north, it looks like. He's got some spider riders right next to a farm. How can you stand that close and aggressive stance and not auto-acquire a target? That's very curious. If he is in a hold ground stance, I could understand, but he very much is not. Alright, some Rohirrim are going in trying to kill another farm here. You can, of course, throw these units away at will. Send them to the death to try and do as much damage as possible because they don't feed power points. They despawn eventually. You might as well use them to their full potential. That goes with any summon unit, of course. There's no reason to worry about them getting killed and giving your enemy power points or anything. Alright, there's the Hobbit summon. Immediately, Djinges is turning him into Rock Throw. Rock Throw is their better attack mode. Rock Throw does a lot of damage. Rock Throw will one-shot a Goblin, I think. I would expect. What? It does incredibly good damage to heroes. Maybe it doesn't one-shot Goblins, but probably does. It does have a chance of missing, though. I think it one-shots most things. It's so good. I don't think he used the Vial of Galadriel. He could have. Might have saved a few lives there, but because he wasn't too worried about that. Gorkill's coming over here with a little bit of half trolls. Oh, I see money being acquired somehow. I guess from the half trolls dying? Aemir must have outlaw leadership. Yes, indeed, he does. I thought it was the goblins getting money, but no. Gorkill did manage to escape. Asba's doing a good job keeping him alive. Yeah, he has Azog out now. Excellent. Oh, there we go. God, the Azog running animation is fucking hilarious. Okay. Many more goblins are being built, of course. Try to throw a bit of pikes, but not taking too much damage there. Because you didn't hit them full on. And, ooh, a nice flank. It was worth it. Unfortunately for goblins, of course, they don't have any wells to heal up on. He's gone into bow mode to try and fight the Rohirrim. Probably not going to go very well for them, I would expect. Djinges, meanwhile, pushing through the center with a pretty massive force. Only to be toppled by a dragon. Very nice. Dragon does, of course, cause impact damage as he lands. Kind of like Balrog when he gets summoned. He really should have used reposition. I guess he has to have vision to be able to reposition. But he is running out of time. Look at this. He's having trouble going through. Oh no. The dragon is very good at killing bases. That's what you want him to do. And that looks like what he's going to try and achieve here. Although he's really not sure what he's doing. There we go. That is a good position because he will be able to hit two of those buildings. So you have an army of the dead summon. Oh my. Looks like both people hit their 25 point powers at the same time almost. Or at least using them very close to each other. That has cleaned Asba's army up quite nicely. Djinges doesn't have a finishing force though. Army of Dead will kill what he has there. But not much more than that. Army of the Dead, of course, does actually get you power points though. It's the problem with that power. Unlike all other summons, Army of the Dead actually will net you power points for kills, I believe. So he's already up to 9 again. It's a bit problematic. But it killed the Goblin Army. Goblin armies can, of course, replenish pretty easily, so it's not gonna hurt Asba too much, I don't feel like. His heroes are in the tunnel as well, so he is not lost them to the Army of the Dead. And he should be ready to fight off this incursion into his lands very shortly. Maybe he could do with another Goblin Cave or a fissure or something. How's his economy going here? Djinges is doing pretty well. He's at 1,070 of 1,000 troops, so he's actually over his communal limit. And he's sitting on a little bit of money there. We got 531 to 725, and we have almost 3 grand. Well, had almost 3 grand there for a second there for Asba. Not sure why he's sitting on 3 grand. Maybe he's trying to save for a Drogoth. It is entirely possible. Drogoth, of course, is 5 grand though. Not a cheap hero by any means. I think Drogoth would be huge in this matchup right now, though, because Man of the West player is not... He's not really got many good archers. He's getting Gondor archers. He hasn't upgraded to Athelians at all. He's really relying on the trash tier Gondor archers because they do enough damage to Goblin warriors, I guess. Why would he need anything else? Of course, they don't do as much damage to half-troll marauders or Rohirrim. But Drogoth would be very good against this Rohirrim horde that he has to face down here, as well as most things. So I think Drogoth would be pretty spicy, but I'm not sure he'll be able to get it, especially since he keeps losing farms. It's going to be increasingly more difficult. And Djinges pushing forth of the tower. Looks like he's one of those players who likes to use towers a bit. I personally don't mind a tower here and there, as long as you don't spam them too much. I wouldn't say he's spamming them. Well, he's protecting key locations with them. I can understand the value in that, but I could also see how that'd be really annoying for the opponent. But at the same time, maybe Asba should just get some giants. Giants deal with those pretty well. Of course, he's not really in a position to do so, is he? He'd need a second fissure and start upgrading that, which is not cheap. I believe upgrading a fissure to level 3 is 1,200. Either that or the giants is 1,200, I can't remember. Nope, the fissure level 3 is 1,200. That's right. Which is crazy. It's expensive. I think that's the most expensive upgrade for a building in the game, if I'm not mistaken. Oh man, we're here making short work of these spider riders. Feels bad. I don't think he's used the Vile Gladriel once. He doesn't need to, of course, in this scenario, but it is very useful for causing the enemy to break up and run away, as it is a fear ability. Fear abilities are incredibly powerful in this game. You should take advantage of them when you can, I feel like. When it suits you, of course. You shouldn't use a fear if you're about to drop a long shot on somebody, because that's silly. They're just going to move out of your long shot. Stuff like that. Djinges is pushing in here. He's pushing the north now. It looks like he's cleared up whatever's there. He's definitely secured the main homestead. I'd say Asba is definitely on his back foot here, being overwhelmed by such reckless man-flesh. Sounded weirder after I said it than it did in my head. But that's alright. Weird is my specialty. I think the Summoner right here actually come with armor upgrades as well. It's pretty swanky. Or at least visually, I don't know. I don't know if they're actually wearing the armor upgrade, but they look like they are. Yeah, I think Asba has a very uphill struggle at this point. What level's Gorkio? Level 4. He does have leadership now, which is pretty baller. Does he have Azog at all anymore? Yes, he does. There he is. Level 6 Azog. Seems to be doing pretty well. Netting 3 money per kill. He's getting riches by slaying bitches, as they say. I don't think anyone said that, but maybe they should. Here comes the Rohirrim for Djinges. Goblin Warriors, of course, going to stand absolutely no chance. Goblin Warriors only net you 1 resource. As you would expect, they're not worth a whole lot. As far as they're even worth that. So Rohirrim are going to be able to shut down these goblin caves and stuff, and I think that'll be GG for Asba, as he won't have a whole lot to fend off this attack here. There's many, many troops from Djinges coming in. And Asba has only his heroes left, who are very, very wounded. There's Gorkill as well. Looking worse for wear. Men of the West not building any heroes other than Eomer in this game, which is pretty cool. Most Men of the West players have a tendency to get at least a Faramir or something. Eomer's done more than he needed to in this one, I feel like. He's relied mostly on the power of troops and towers, which seems to work. Oh, there's a bunch of Goblin Warriors. Very clumped up. It's like, how many is that? It's just like 1. But it looked like so much more. Yeah, Djinges. He has a House of Healing, but he's only bought an Eomer, and I'm not sure he's even lost him yet. Well, I guess it does have a AoE healing around the fort. It's not just for heroes. So, it's still useful, of course, even if he's not losing heroes. That'll help respawn the troops with his well together a little bit quicker. Looks like we get the Worm Summon being used defensively. Not an ideal scenario, of course. It does pretty well, though, of course. But ideally, you want to be using it on the enemy base. Djinges is bringing lots of troops. There's a nice Watcher Summon there, and I'll take care of a good chunk of those men. Worm and Watcher, best defense a man can get, a goblin can get. I don't know. Rohan Spearman might actually kill this worm, it looks like. They have done it. They've slain the worm. Very nice. I think that's all the powers Asba has currently to save his bacon. Dragon's getting close to coming back, but of course, Army of the Dead is also getting close to coming back. We have Bombadil and Duna and allies as well, ready to be summoned for Djinges, so that'll be very useful. There's the Duna and ally summon right there, fending off these marauders. Yeah, sounds about right. And Azog, of course. Look at him go. He does not want to die this day. Huh. Well, that's not something you expect to see when you're in danger of dying. Shelob is incredibly good, don't get me wrong, but she dies... Oh, she dies pretty easily, I feel like. To most things. She does have some splash damage. She would actually do very well right here if you can get her into position. Because each hit will kill like three Rohirrim. Should be pretty big. But she dies very easily to pikes, to archer fire. Shelob is a risky hero, and for 3 grand, I don't know if that was a good choice. But I guess he's in a situation where, what else are you gonna do? And that seems fine. Looks like Men of the West have started bringing siege. They don't have the flaming shots yet, but even without, they will still do, of course, decent damage to the fortress. He's taking out the towers, so you can swarm it. And there you go, Asba has GG. The Djinges is victorious. Very nice. A good play by both players, I feel like. Asba was doing really well. His spam was strong. But eventually, he was overwhelmed by the Men of the West spam. And the massive amount of cav. And the towers are probably a bit tricky for goblins without any powerful stuff to take them down. bit of a pain, I feel like. But yeah, well played. That was a good game. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next cast of the RotWK King Patch 2.2 Origin 7. See you next time.